Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kelly Anderson, and I would like to welcome all of you to ISS Group's Business Process Improvement demonstration titled, How to Improve Financial Controls with Agile Business Process Improvement Solutions. In this short 30-minute presentation, my colleague Mark Microwitz will demonstrate how our process digitalization methodology, along with our Agile Business Process Improvement Solutions, significantly improve financial controls. For this presentation, we'll demonstrate customer credit limit change requests. This process is for all new customers and existing customers that need increases to credit limits based on pending orders. Many organizations choose to review existing customer credit limits periodically. In this example, we'll demonstrate how after review, if a credit limit change is needed, a process form is completed electronically and routed for approval. If the request is approved, the new credit limit is automatically updated in your ERP solution. We'll also demonstrate the routing and approval of supplier information such as remit to addresses and financial institution information for payment processing. You'll see how process forms are routed to the appropriate individuals for approval prior to process changes being implemented. Our iApprove rules-based approval routing engine allows the end-user organization to easily configure the most challenging or simple approval routing rules. There's no limit to the number of approval routing rules which can be created, or the number of conditions, the ands or the ors, in a given approval routing rule. Mike will now demonstrate just how iApprove is a fast and effective way to improve your financial controls and business processes. Again, welcome to our weekly webinar. With that, I'll pass the presentation over to Mike to begin. Thanks.
Thank you, Kelly. Today I am going to show you our iApprove, or demonstrate our iApprove solution. We are going to start with the credit limit increase, and then we're going to show how to do new supplier additions to your QAD system. So let's start with the login screen. So here's the iApprove login screen. What you would have to do is enter your username and password, and you can pick what domain you would like to sign into. iApprove, as you can tell, can work on multiple domains. We're going to use demo 1, and I'm going to sign in as Frank. When I log in, I go to the iApprove tab on the left-hand side here, and I click Credit Requests. So let's discuss the way the screen is laid out. Across the top, you see you have tabs. These tabs can run all the way across the top of the screen here. You can add as many tabs as you like, with as many fields on those tabs. So for the credit increase requisition, you can see we have different types of fields in this center section of the screen here. These fields can be added or subtracted. These are not standard fields. The fields are created by the end user. You, as a customer, would tell us what fields you would like to have and what data you want to collect, and we would add these fields to each screen or form. So, and as you can see, there's more data fields on the second tab. The third tab is always for approval history, and we'll get to that as I go through the demonstration. So we're going to click on New, and what we're going to do is we're going to start adding data to this center section here of the screen. So I'm going to say John Crane here. I'm going to add a new customer. I'm just going to pick the top one here, and as I add this customer, Colossal Conglomerates, you can see the account number is added and their current limit. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I can either add more credit or sales data here on the tab. I can add all the data that is needed for the approvers to be able to approve the requisition. I'm going to go back to the account data, and I'm going to say I want this credit limit to go from $75,000 to $100,000. Okay, I can add the collector code here. I can put a type field. I can add this checkbox if I want. As you can see, I can create different sections. I don't just have one form. I have one form here, but I can have multiple sections within a form. Now, when I go to save it, these string of buttons that are here on the left-hand side are always on every form that you create in iApprove. So what I want to reiterate to you is, no matter how many different process forms you create, the tabs are always across the top. these buttons are always, these function buttons are always in the middle. And on the bottom, you have your requisition browse. So you can see all the requisitions that have been done within the system. You can change the columns if you'd like. You can download an Excel spreadsheet of this browse. You can search, you can refresh it, and you can change the page size. So let's just save this requisition. So now the requisition is saved, but it's still not submitted, as you can see from the status on the top bar here. But a submit button has been added to the system. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click the submit button. The approval information on the top of the screen changes to pending, and you get a warning on the bottom right-hand corner that it was successfully submitted. I can then retract the requisition if I need to change some data in it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to log off and I'm going to log in as the first approver. Oops, spelled it wrong. So I log in and I go to the credit requests again, and I'm going to sort by rec date here, and I'm going to go to the pending rec. And what I approve can do is it can give you notes based on each approver. So this is the approval instructions for the first approver. I'm going to click X, and I'm just going to show you the approval history tab. So now what you're looking at here is who has to approve this rec in order for it to update QAD. The status of the first approver is yellow because he has not approved anything. I approve has different ways of approval routing. You can do sequential approval routing, or you can do simultaneous approval routing. As you can see that these both are on level 100. So these are simultaneous right now. In order for you to get to level 2 and actually approve the requisition, you would both of these people, Scott and Alex, will both have to approve the rec before it moves to the next level, which is sequential. Okay? So if I'm Scott here, let's say I'm Scott and I don't like this rec, I'm going to reject it. So I hit the reject button and I have to put in a note. So I'm just going to write rejection note for demonstration, and I'm going to reject it. It says I successfully rejected it on the bottom, and I'm going to go back, I'm going to log off, and I'm going to log back in as Frank. I log back in, I'm going to sort on rec date, I'm going to go to the rejected. When I go to the approval history, you'll see that now Scott's status is now red as rejected. So I'm going to now add a note saying I need this to be increased based on customer orders. So I re-add that. Now I can make this note internal or external. But for this I approve form, there is no external. So we're just going to keep it internal for now. I'm going to click save. So now there's a note, time, dates, and user stamps the note. I can edit the note or I can delete the note. And I'm just going to close this. And as you can see now, there's a note. I can click to view notes. But I'm going to go back to the account data tab after I added my note, and now I'm going to submit. But before I submit, I can also change the terms here if I want. I could say, so now it's due to 30 days from invoice. I'm going to change it to due to 60 days to invoice. I'm going to save it again, and I'm going to submit the requisition. So now that I've submitted it twice, it tells me that the requisition is submitted. I'm going to go to approval history, and you'll notice it says show approval attempt 2. If I go back to 1, it keeps the information from the first one and tells me who rejected or if I retracted the requisition. So I'm going to go back to 2, and it's going to show me the same approval routing that I had before. I'm going to log off. I'm going to log in as Scott. I'm going to go into the system. I'm going to sort. Again, my same note for me. I'm going to go to I'm going to just approve this. Now I approve the requisition, or Scott approved the requisitions. I'm going to log off again. I'm going to sign in as Alex. I'm going to go to the same requisition. Now the approval instructions change because I'm the second person in this requisition, not the first. So it says these are the instructions for 1A approver because we're both on the same level. That's why it's telling me 1A. You can change these notes to say whatever you'd like. I'm going to go to approval history just to show that Scott is now green. I'm going to approve it. And when I approve it, now Alex is green also. I'm going to sign back out. I'm going to sign in as Kelly. I'm going to log in. I'm going to go to credit requests. Sort. Now the third instruction is different than the first two, and it says finance group instructions go here. Again, you can place whatever instructions you'd like into this little pop-up window. I'm going to go to approval history. Again, now they're both green. I'm going to approve the requisition. Now that I have approved the requisition, everyone's approved it. It has now been, since we're integrated with QAD, this now goes into QAD, changes the credit limit for that customer, and it will bring that information back into I approve when you choose that customer again. So you can see how this improves your financial controls because it takes your analog process and creates a digital process out of it with no mistakes, because someone in the approval process can stop it if there is a mistake, number one. And number two is it allows this process to move quickly because it will email all the approvers and the approvers can just approve from the emails. So then I'm going to go back. I'm going to create a new credit increase for the same customer because I want to prove to you how the data comes back. Oops, I have to sign back out first. I have to sign back in as Frank. I'm going to go to credit request. I'm going to go new. I'm going to search. I'm going to pick the same customer. And now you'll see that the credit limit is now $100,000. So that's the first form I wanted to show with an I approve. The second one is new supplier. So I'm going to go to new supplier. And as you can see, the form looks a little different, but actually it's the same layout. So you have your tabs across the top, you have your function buttons down in the middle, and you have your browse down at the bottom. So I'm going to click new, and it's going to clear the screens out. And I'm going to do sort name, and I'm just going to write weekly webinar. And for the name, I'm going to use demo 1. And then I could put in 100, 110 Main Street. Pleasantville, New Jersey, 07750, USA. Now, I just want to tell you, because I think I didn't mention this yet, I approve works with any web browser that has internet access. So the whole system is a web-based app. All you need is internet access and a web browser to enter the I approve solution. I'm going to click save here. And now, since I have to click save, again, I have to submit the rec. Now, I'm the only approver for our new vendor. So now all I would have to do to push this data into QAD would be to just click the approve button. And once I click the approve button, it now created this new vendor within my QAD system. It works the same exact way as the credit increase I just showed you. It's just a different function within your business processes, within your organization. As you can see, you can have thousands of different business processes within your organizations that might not be as digitized as this solution can do. So you can see how it can save you time and money by using this type of solution. And on that note, I'm done with the demonstration, and I'm going to pass this back to Kelly.
Thanks, Mike. And in conclusion, I would like to share with everybody that iApprove, like all of ISS Group's business process improvement solutions, reads the Q80 supplier master table, the item master table in real time, as well as writes to the Q80 purchase order table in real time, thus eliminating the need for redundant data entry. This in turn reduces human error, improving efficiency, and greatly enhancing productivity. iApprove not only works with QAD, it will work with any ERP solution that can be integrated with iApprove. That concludes our demonstration for today. Please feel free to contact either Mike or myself should you have any questions or if you would like additional information. We can be reached at Kelly Anderson, K.Anderson at issgroup.net. Mike can be reached at mmarkowitz at issgroup.net, or you can reach us through our website at www.issgroup.net or through our sales portal and leave questions for us and we'll get right back to you. Again, thank you everybody for joining this week's weekly demonstration. We hope we see you next week on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a great day and we look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks.